Hi everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to be playing around with this really cute stamp set that Simon Says Stamp just released. This is brand new. It's so adorable. It's called Vitamin C, and I'll be linking everything that you see me use today in the description box below. But Simon Says Stamp sent this over, and I'm so excited to play around and show you lots of fun little things with this little set. So in this little beautiful mermaid collection, we have fun little sentiments. One's called Best Fishes. One says, an ocean full of birthday wishes, can't wait to see you, spelled S-E-A, which I absolutely think is so cute. All you need is a good dose of vitamin C, wishing you a mermazing birthday, keep swimming, and fish you are here. I love that there's such a variety. So we have a couple ones that are encouraging, we have some birthday ones as well, and then we kind of have just some main sentiments that can be a little bit more universal. So these are so fun. I am also going to be bringing in some really fun colored cardstock, and then we're going to play around with the tri-blend markers. I have not used these yet, but I purchased these a couple weeks ago and I've swatched them out. I'll show you my swatch chart in just a bit, and I'm really impressed. So I thought that when I received this stamp set, I thought this was going to be a really fun little project to debut these markers with. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to start with stamping. I'm going to place everything to the side. I did my best to kind of pull some items that I think I'm going to be using, but as always, we're just going to see where this takes us. So in the next video that I have coming out, I'm going to be sharing even more goodies that Simon Says Stamp sent to me from their latest release. So I cannot wait to inspire you because their latest release is adorable, and I was so excited to open the box. Okay, let's open this beautiful stamp set. My kids were in love the second that I opened this. This is going to be so fun for them to play around with. Okay, I think I'm going to show you a little bit later where I'm kind of going with this card, but there are so many wonderful ones to choose from. Ooh, I should leave it like that so you can see better. But I'm thinking, based on kind of the design of what I'm thinking for my card, I really want to go with this little sitting mermaid. I think she would be so cute. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and let's go ahead and take her off. Okay, and you know what would be cute though? Also, hold on, let me not get ahead of myself. I'm going to place her down. I'm kind of thinking it would be fun to put one of these little starfish in her hair. Let's stamp one out, and I'm trying to think in terms of size. What I can do is, I'm thinking the smaller one is going to be better. But you know what, let's just grab both of them. So this is 80-pound cardstock. I do not have the coordinating dies that go along with this. If I find them on their website, I will absolutely link them down below for you. But since I don't have the coordinating dies, I know I'm going to fussy cut this out. So when I fussy cut, which really isn't my favorite thing to do because I'm not very good at it, but you know, this is a great opportunity to keep practicing. But when I fussy cut, I like to do a lighter weight cardstock because it's a little bit easier for me. Okay, so let's go ahead, put this back down, and I'm gonna grab my ink. Okay, we'll do some Memento Tuxedo Black because we're going to be doing alcohol markers next. Okay, brand new stamp set, brand spanking new. So I'm going to go ahead and just condition the stamp, and that will help it get a really nice, good first impression as we use it for the first time. Okay, now I'm going to absolutely stamp this a couple times. And I'm going to do that because the tri-blend markers are brand new to me. I'm going to try to find my stamp press tool. The tri-blend markers are brand new, and this is going to be my first time, obviously, and I'm going to be practicing with them. So I just want to stamp this a couple times in case I mess up. Actually, I should have given myself a little bit more room because I'm going to be fussy cutting, but that's okay. I'll just snip these apart. That was a really, really good first impression. I think that is the best that I've ever done with a brand new stamp set. That's amazing. Okay. Must have conditioned that just right. So I'm going to double stamp really quickly and then we'll move on. Just flipping the cardstock over. This also gives, especially when you have a brand new stamp set and you're not kind of sure if it's going to have a great first impression that first pass, it gives you the opportunity to pick the best between the two, which I can appreciate. Okay, and I actually did like my second impression just a little bit better because my first one had just a tiny and very ever so slight little fuzz there. So it kind of pressed in there. So no problem. I hopefully will do a great job on my first coloring. And if not, you can barely tell where that little blip is. And once it's colored, it'll probably disappear anyway. So I'm gonna let this set for just a moment. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start coloring. I don't like to color right away. I like to just leave it maybe for about 5 minutes, just to make sure that it's all set up, and then we'll get to coloring. Okay, so I actually pulled some cardstock before I decided on the colors that I wanted to use for coloring. And I really, actually, you know what I did? Let's be honest here. I used my swatch chart, and when I first got my markers, I went ahead and downloaded this swatch chart from Kathy Zilski's website, and I'll have a link to it down below. She made this swatch chart and it's amazing. So it really helps. I really like when I get a new set of alcohol markers, I like to swatch them out for a couple reasons. First of all, it gives you the opportunity to see the actual color. And second of all, it also kind of gives you a little bit of playtime and practice time. So it kind of is a really good idea for multiple reasons. So I have all of my markers all swatched. And what I did is I kind of looked around to see where I wanted to take this card in terms of color. And for a mermaid, I was kind of thinking we would go with this green turquoise, which I pulled. I also pulled a coral and a pale pink. And then I did some fair skin and I think tan for her hair. So you can make the creative decisions that you would like. That's kind of where I decided to go. And then once I had those markers all ready and pulled, I went ahead and decided to coordinate with the cardstock. So here's another reason. I don't know that these caps are necessarily true to color, right? So I think it's a good idea for you to always swatch out, because then you can see what the actual color is, because the caps aren't necessarily a perfect match. Okay, so let's talk about how neat these markers are. So I'll leave the little swatching chart to the side here, but you will see that each marker is actually 3 markers. That is so fun. So what you'll see when you turn this over is that you have let's see, I think I kind of got this misaligned. There we go. That way we can see all of them at once. So you will have your light tone, your mid tone, and then your dark tone all in one marker, which is amazing. So this right here is the fair skin blend. And so we have our dark, our mid, and then our light tone, and it's all in one, and they all coordinate together so that they blend really nice together. So same thing for all of these markers. Let me make sure they're all lined up. But you have your light, and they all have a really nice, the ones I got at least, they have the nice pointy tip on them, which I find is really helpful for coloring. And then in the middle, you have your mid-tone, and then on the end, I'm just going to flip it around, you have your darkest of the tones. Isn't that fun? I think these are really fun. And I think also when you're first starting with alcohol markers, this would be a really great idea, because it really takes a lot of the guesswork out. It gives you all of your tones. To be honest, I like most of them. I feel like the purples, to me, I don't know. I'm not too fond of them. I'm sure maybe if I just did like maybe the mid-tone and the light, I just felt like the purples were a little bit hard, but all of the other ones I think really blend super nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with coloring. I might not magnetize that down, but let's see. I'm thinking, so I'll go ahead and start with that. So I'm going to start with my dark, and again, that's just the one side of it, and it says it is FS8, so it has a little code with it too. So I'm going to go ahead and start there. I have to turn and rotate and flip and do all the things when I color. So it's just the way that I find that I'm most successful with it, but I feel like I can't just keep it straight on and color super nicely. Okay, so I'm just gonna start by adding a little bit of shadowing, and again, I'm just using my darkest tone in this marker, and I'm just gonna add a little bit around some of the edges, and I think that's about good. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my mid-tone, which again is in the middle of the barrel, and I'm just going to kind of blend that out. Okay. And really ever so slightly. I'm really only kind of doing about 1/4 of an inch given how little space we're really working with here. So I'm just kind of using that to kind of blend out. Okay, and then I will take the lightest, and I'm going to further blend and pull the color out all the way into the light. Okay. And I think that looks pretty good. Now you can continue, you know, blending and pulling. You can also, if you want to go back and bump up your shadows, you can do that as well. But I actually think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna kind of continue to blend just a little. And I almost am wondering if I kind of like maybe the mid-tone a little bit better for her skin, so I might bring that in just a little bit more. So I'm coming in with that middle part of the barrel, which is our mid-tone, and I'm just going to bring a little bit more of that in because I kind of like that color. So I'm just going to bring a little bit more of that in. Okay. I think that looks good. I was going to say I might bump up the shadows, but I really like a really subtle blend. Everyone has their own preferences. I might just darken that up just a little bit. Everyone has their preferences, but I like subtle. Okay. And you can just keep flipping and rotating those markers, and it just makes it so easy. Okay, I think that's where I'm going to go with the skin. Now I will add some rosy cheeks in a bit, but I don't like to add them right away because I find that when the alcohol markers are still wet, it kind of just like, I don't know, it just kind of dissolves into the background color. So I like to let that sit so that it instead will kind of sit on top when you add the little rosy cheek. Okay, so let's just go with all of the ones that are a given. I know I want to do the tan for her hair. So again, I'm going to locate the dark and I'm going to grab that first. And I'm just going to add my shadowing where I feel like I'm going to want that. Okay. And I might actually kind of use the dark to kind of go along most of her little hair here to kind of, I don't know, give her hair a lot of depth. We'll do some highlights and lowlights. She'll have better hair than I do because I have not been to get my hair done in a bit. So I think I'm going to be jealous of this cute little mermaid and her little dew. Okay, and let's just do this and that. Okay, I think that that is a good starting point. Let's go ahead and grab the mid-tone. Okay, so I've got the lightest of the three, and I'm just going and blending and pulling out that color to blend a little bit. Oh, I like that. I think that's giving her a really nice look. Okay. And again, you can always bump up those shadows. It's not over until it's over, so you can just keep coloring adding and having fun. I actually really, really like how that looks. I really like that. Okay, I can't mess it up now. Now, this is where I get nervous, is when I feel like I'm really liking where everything's going. I think the hair is really cute. I think that's really cute. I feel like when I really like where it's going, then I get more nervous that I'm gonna mess it up at the end. Okay, so I have these two colors done. Now I think I'll do this green turquoise blend for her fin. I just feel like that is going to be a really fun color. I love the pink and the coral, but I think I want to predominantly maybe have the green for the fin. I think it'll just be maybe a better visual choice. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the dark and really just lather, rinse, repeat. I'm gonna go ahead and add just some shading down the side and maybe kind of bring it up a little bit. And then down this part of her fin and here. Right. Oh, very fun. Okay, I think I like that. Okay, grabbing the mid-tone, which again is right in the middle. And I'm gonna rotate this just a little bit so I can kind of just begin to pull out, kind of flick away, which I think is, ooh, that's gonna be really nice. Okay. And then, knowing I can always go back, I'll go to the light and continue pulling color and blending out. And this, I feel like I'm even going to take that light and kind of keep blending out the darkest a little bit. Okay. Oh, I like that. I really like that. I like the depth. I think that's really pretty. Okay, I'll finish up this last little bit and then we'll decide. I have the swatch next to me, but I think what I'll do is I'll actually swatch maybe really close to her. That way I can really get an idea of which color I want to do for her top. Okay, I like that. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop while I like where that is. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to swatch, not super close to where, because I'm going to obviously be cutting this out, but I kind of want to just get an idea. And see, my thing here is I don't want it to be so close to the color of her skin where it gets kind of lost in there, because you can barely there's like just a little bit of room for her top there. So what do I want? Oh, see, that's so close to her skin. I feel like it's gonna get lost. So what I'm going to do, I actually kind of like that mid-tone for her cheeks on the coral. I think I'll go with the coral, and I think that's going to be the best choice. Okay, so I think I will even just do dark. Just a little skosh there, right? Just a tiny bit. And then the mid-tone, because I think the light might be too light. Okay. Oh, I like that. I think that's going to work. I'm just going to darken it up just a little bit, just so that we have a little bit of contrast. Okay, there we go. That's cute. Okay, so now let's do her cheeks. And I think I was going to do, well, let's just try. I'm going to do the darkest of the pink, the pale pink blend, dark, and I'm going to do her cheeks. Knowing I can always grab, oh, that's going to work. I was going to say I can always grab my coral blend to darken it up if I need to, but I think that's actually going to be, that's cute. That's where I'm going to go. Okay, now I think what I'll do is bring that coral back in for this, a little starfish. I think that'll be really pretty. I kind of like the shape though of the larger one, and I think it'll be a statement too. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my fine detail scissors from Simon Says Stamp. These are amazing. They are also non-stick, so they're really great and come in really great handy when doing your foam tape as well, or if you're just cutting anything sticky. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fussy cut out my little mermaid, and I'm going to save this other little mermaid for later because I know that my kiddos will love to color. Okay, so because I got these a little close, I think I'll also just trim these apart. That way I just am working with what I need to work with. Okay, so fussy cutting, not my favorite, but again, it's just because I feel like I'm not the best at it. But all you need to do is decide on a little margin or shadow and then carry it through the entire way. So in theory, it's so easy. Okay, I really don't think that I did that bad. I actually think I did okay. So here is my final cute little mermaid. Isn't she sweet? And I think I have a really consistent shadow layer. I also think that once I place this on my final card, little imperfections are really going to be lost. You're not going to notice them as much as you may think, right? I always think it's going to be blaringly obvious if I make a little mistake. And you know, in the final card, first of all, it comes from love. And second of all those things are so minor in the final little look. Okay, I'm just going to kind of, whoa, that was cute. Okay, I'm going to flatten her little edges out just because I kind of got a little bent as I was rotating and cutting. So I'm just going to soften the edges a little bit. She's cute. Okay, and there is my little starfish. So I'm thinking, oh, I think that was the right choice in terms of size. And we'll figure out which way we want to go with that. But so cute. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set them to the side. I actually got this really cute little heart tray in the Valentine's Day section at Hobby Lobby recently, and I really wanted something just to kind of organize and keep safe all of my little finished tiny pieces during the whole process. So I'm going to go ahead and set her to the side, and let's start with the panel. So what I want to do is grab a A2 size 110 pound cardstock panel, and this again is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And here is what I'm thinking. I purchased this recently from Simon Says Stamp. This is a heart slider. This is so cool. So I thought that it'd be fun to do something really interactive. And what you do is we will die cut this out of our panel, and I wanted this to be 110 pound because I want it to be really substantial for this next part. So we're going to die cut this piece right out of this middle part. I'm going to go a little bit up because I'm thinking my sentiment will go down here. And what I was thinking is that then our little mermaid, I have some gliders as well. So I purchased these little gliders, and she is going to rotate around. It stops here, goes all the way around, and she'll just kind of float around in a heart-shaped pattern. And I thought that would be so fun and so cute. Actually, what we need to do though, I think that's going to be good because I don't want her to, go up off the card. But I think that's going to be really, really cute just like that. Oh my gosh, I think that's going to be fun. Okay. So what I need to decide on, I think I'm going to go right about there. And then let's put these to the side. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut this out. And let me grab my A2 layer panels as well. Okay, grabbing my A2 layer dies. I really want to have a larger margin or a thicker margin than usual. Usually I only go 1 in because I really like a very dainty thin margin, but because I'm going to add a little bit of color here with some cardstock. I'm going to show you in a bit what we're going to do. Oh, I think that'll be perfect. I think that I'm going to do that. Okay, so let's start with the A2 panel, and then, no, let's start with this because then I can visually center that later. I think that'll be better for me. Okay, changed my mind again. I am going to do the panel first and cut that out, and then I'll do the heart. So I'm going to get that all situated. I'm going to angle it just a little bit more. That way it goes through more gracefully and less of a speed bump. Okay, and let's go ahead and send this one through. Okay. And then, oh, that looks so nice. And then I think I can center a little bit better with the heart. And the reason being, I wanted to make sure that I had, you know, equal distance here and here. I don't know. We all approach things differently, right? But in my opinion, it is whatever makes you the most comfortable and confident. I've always said that on my channel. That is the right answer. So do what makes you feel best and makes you feel like you're going to succeed at it, right? And that's what's best for you. Okay, there we go. Send this next one through. And then I think we'll be done with our die cutting, but you're probably wondering why I pulled all of that colored cardstock. And we're gonna get to that in just a second. Okay, so you wanna be mindful to be very gentle here because this is hanging on by just a tiny little piece of cardstock here. So I'm gonna be very gentle. And I think I'm gonna need a little bit of adhesive eraser there, but being gentle here because this is all we have to connect this little piece. So isn't that cute? I love that. Okay, grabbing my little erasers. I'm gonna grab the adhesive eraser and I'm just gonna kind of clean up this little piece. I have a couple little gunky spots, but mainly that tape area, and just heal that. Usually I have really good luck with my tape, but from time to time that happens. And then there we go. Okay, good as new. I love this little adhesive eraser. Okay, so there is our panel. I'm going to delicately set this to the side as well, just up here. And as always, keep your little inside piece too, because how pretty would that be? So cute. All right, that's set to the side. Now I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer because I want to play around with adding some color with my colored cardstock, and I want to do some little thin strips and just have fun kind of doing a little background here. And you'll see in just a second where I'm going with this. So I'm thinking if I want to measure my heart here. So I was going to do it with my mat, but I think I'll just grab my little T-square ruler. Looks like that is about 2.5 inches, roughly, maybe a little bit more. And I have 5 pieces of paper here. So I'm wondering, a 1/2 inch, maybe a tad, ooh, 1/2 inch. Okay, we might do a 1/2 inch, and I think that'll look really nice. 1/2 inch thick on my cardstock. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I kind of just eyeballed that given the size of my paper. Oh, I think this will be really pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and trim down little 1/2 inch strips, and I want them to be long, and you'll see why in a minute. So I'm gonna make them quite a bit longer than my panel here, and then we'll start with the next part of this card. Okay, and that is going to be perfect. And again, I just eyeballed that. I think visually those look fairly equal, and I'm okay with that. Okay, the next step is grabbing another A2 layer panel here, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my strips to my panel. So I want to, though, make sure I'm going to just very informally place these down for a moment, because I want to make sure that I'm placing them in the right spot. I don't want to rush the glue process just yet. So I'm thinking if I do right about there. Aren't those colors pretty together? Those are really fun. Okay. Okay, so if we have that right about there, then if we do that, I think that's going to work, because I am going to further trim down this panel as well, because I think that's going to be really, I just think it'll be really visually pleasing in the end. Okay, so I think I will go ahead and solidify that option. I might bring everything down just a little bit, just a little, right about there. Okay, and what I'll do is I will grab a pencil to show where I want my first piece to go. So I'm just going to go like that. That way I know I need to line up that first band right here. Okay, I am going to use tape runner, and I'm simply going to add some tape runner to my card base there. Okay. And I'm going to flip that one. Oops, do I have a little mark there? That should be okay. Maybe I'll bring this. Well, no, I'll do it there. That's fine. I'm gonna make sure that that's nice and straight. I think that looks good. And if it's a little off, I can always mend it when I do my trimming down, which is going to happen next. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just add all of my strips, just like this. And sometimes it's easier for me this way because I can have a little bit more control. Just like that. Okay, looks nice. Okay, and my final band is going down. Okay, now, oops, I think I need to bring that one up. Got a little bit of a gap. Let me just snug as a bug in a rug that. There we go. That is much better. Okay, so now I have my bands here. Love that. And they're gonna look so cute with her. I'm loving this color combination. Okay, let's grab some scissors. And all I'm going to do is just take off most, right? Just like that. Because I'm gonna let my A2 die do the next part for me. Keep these. You can do something so fun with these. Okay, so then we have this little piece. How fun. I love it. So, you know, I was thinking, I was thinking of trimming this bottom panel down more, but that only leaves me with so much. I'm kind of thinking that I don't want this back panel to be any smaller. I really don't. I want to showcase that as much as I can, that color. So I think I'll grab my paper trimmer and, well, let's decide, is this going to be centered enough? It is. It is. Okay. That's why moving those down a little bit like we did, it was helpful. Okay, sorry, that's stealing focus, but let me just trim these little pieces off. And you could, of course, can do those with scissors as well, but I love the paper trimmer. Okay, let me make sure that is snug up there. Okay. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, I like that. always changing direction as we go. That's the beauty of just the whole creative process, I think. Okay, so now it's foam tape time, I think. Actually, is it glider time? It might be glider time, like just to put it in there. We're not gonna do anything permanent yet, but we need to get this out. Now, there are 2 different types of gliders. I will link the ones that you'll need for this project. These are the type, now it's, what does it say on here? These are for slider cards. So there are kinds that are going to kind of rotate circular, and then there's going to be kinds, excuse me, that just go up and down. So you want to have this kind right here, and you'll see it has a little, you know, circle on the top, or just a little dot, if you will. And then if you will see, it's just has a little opening in the middle. It's like a little sandwich. And then we're going to sandwich that little piece gently within here. Okay. And then what it'll do is it will rotate. Oh, I want to be careful here. It's going to rotate all the way around. Okay. So I'm going to let that go because you know what I need to do next is I need to do my sentiment. And you know, I am thinking of just simply stamping that right onto the card base. I'm not going to do anything fancy. I think there's going to be a little simplicity with this next part that is going to just be really beautiful. So I'm going to just take that opportunity to have a simple sentiment. Okay, so I kind of went back and forth with whether I wanted to gold heat emboss this, which I think would be so pretty. I really do. I think that would be so pretty. But I think, again, just kind of taking the simpler route, because everything else is kind of the wow factor. I really think a simple sentiment just in black ink, it was my original choice, and I think I'm just going to stay with that. So now I just need to decide what I want to do. Wishing you a mermazing birthday would be so cute. Oh, I really like the ones, I like all of them, but I like the ones where they double up and pair a script font with just a more basic font. I think that's really pretty. But I think wishing you a mermazing birthday, or all you need is a good dose of vitamin C, is so cute. Also being mindful that when she kind of sits down, I don't want it to overlap too much of our sentiment here. I think I'm going to do all you need is a good dose of vitamin C. I really like that. Now, what I'm kind of thinking here is I'm thinking I may have gotten uber lucky with my stamping with the mermaids. So I'm going to center this where I would like it here. And then I think I'll stamp it on just a, you know, I'll grab maybe a little, actually I'll turn this around and put it on the back. That way I can just make sure everything's lined up nice, and also make sure my impression is super, super nice. I'm just gonna double check. Oh, that looks really good. Okay, so let's go ahead and make it official. Now, you know, if you mess it up, you just recut, right? It's not a big deal, but if you can save yourself a little time by just pausing and practicing, I'm kind of for that. All right, good vibes only. Okay. Oh, that looks really good. I don't even know that, you know, I might just do the top. Oop. Well, maybe most of it. Okay. And that's fine too. Maybe I'll do the focus press on the top. Okay. There we go. Cute. Love it. Okay, now you're seeing why I wanted that 110-pound cardstock for this. Something a little bit stronger there. But now we're going to start with our foam tape, and that is really going to strengthen this piece and solidify it so that it's going to be really, really strong. Really quickly, I'm going to do my card base because I like to build my cards from the ground up, and we are finishing it up now. So I have 110-pound cardstock, and this is sized at 11 by 4 1/4. So we'll place our score mark at 5 1/2. That way we will have exact center to create a top folding card. Okay, grabbing my bone folder. That looks really good. Okay, and press that down really good. And we'll get this placed on here. So I'm thinking I'll keep my, oh, how cute. Okay, I love this. I'm thinking I will do my tape runner. I think that'll be best. And I'm just going to make sure I really get those edges, getting as close to those as I can. Okay, that way they're just, it's sealed really nicely at the edge. Okay, and then of course, you can do anything you wish in the middle, but the edges, I really wanted to focus on. Okay, so let's bring our score buddy back in because this will just help with positioning this down. So if I have this placed right in the corner here, this is my card base. This is the top up here, so I want to make sure that this is flipped this way. Okay. And I just want to place that right there, right there. And there we go. I'm going to turn this over this way just so that I can really press down. Okay, I love that. You know when you really feel good about something, like that's on there. It is time to unroll a new roll of foam tape. Super excited. So what I'm going to do is turn this over and we're just going to foam tape it up. Now I want to be, I think I only need one layer. I think it will be fine, but if I need to double it up, then I will double this up. So bringing in my, let's see, I'm going to put this on this side. That's how I like to work. Get my workflow going here. Okay, I'm going to bring this in. Trim this down. And I'm just going to start adding foam tape right along the bottom and the top, obviously. But I'm just going to start going all over. We're going to strengthen this piece, but also give ourselves a little bit. I'm going to have to trim that down. Let's see. We're going to give ourselves a little bit of room for that little slider to go. Actually, it's not going to work because I want that slider. I don't want that slider to stop. So our foam tape cannot go right up to that heart. That was a good catch at the last second there. We want to give our slider room to move freely without being stopped by foam tape. So I think that's giving it enough room. That's giving it enough room. And then I think I'll just add some little pieces here and there just to build up the card. That way it's not bowing down, right? Okay, so maybe like that, and maybe some little ones here. Okay, so this is kind of where I went with that. I know it kind of looks like a mess, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my little slider in here and just test it to make sure that it's not running into any foam tape as it goes around. That way, if I need to move anything, I can do so now. Because once we put this on the card, it's going to be too late. Okay, so that moves really nice. Now, if keeping that slider in there, I'm a little concerned about these areas not having foam tape on them though. But I might have to just let it go. I want to make sure, though, that this is bumped up enough for this to still move. And I think it is. I think that's going to be okay. It moves pretty good. Okay, I think I'm going to be fine. Isn't that cute? It's so fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this on the card because I want to stop worrying about that delicate little inside of the heart. I also think that I will add liquid glue. Most definitely, actually, because I'm going to add liquid glue to the top of my foam tape to help me have a little bit of grace time to position my panel where I'd like it, especially this middle piece, because we need to have this perfectly in place so that our glider really smoothly moves around. We don't want to have it, you know, narrow here and thicker here. We want it to be perfectly center. So let's get all of these little liners off. This card is a labor of love, but I love stuff like this where I have to just sit and be still for a period of time. It's just the way I like to relax. Okay, so, actually I'm gonna grab the Gina K Connect glue that I have in this little bottle here, and I'm just going to add glue all around my foam tape. That way it kind of like hydroplanes, if you will, and doesn't stick down right away, but gives a little grace to wiggle around. There we go. And there we go. Okay. Make sure that this is all put away nicely. And now I'm going to open my card. I'm going to position that there. Take a deep breath, and I want my glider to stay put. So without getting glue everywhere, let's sneak that little guy back in. That will also help me position this. So putting one piece there, one piece there. Okay. Turn over. All right. And I think that looks so far so good. Okay, and then this little piece in here. Grab some tweezers. Get my little glider back in place. And I will, sorry about my head, I'm honest to Pete. I think that's center. I think that looks good. Okay, now I'm just going to press that down. And I was worried about this here. Honestly, I think it's okay. I think it's gonna be okay. Ideal, maybe not, but I think it'll be fine. Okay, so look at that. And I feel so much better now that that is placed, that little heart is there. That was getting a little bit nerve-wracking. I kept thinking it was gonna rip. This moves so freely. I love that. Now we can start with our mermaid. How cute is she gonna be? So cute. Okay, so, and she will kind of go off the card just a little, well, depending on where you position her, actually. It's gonna depend on where you position her. Now, it says on the directions, okay, it says attach your decorative image onto the glider using an adhesive such as a glue dot or a foam dimensional. I think because more dimension, more better, I think I'll do a foam dot. And I have a couple sizes here. I probably need the smaller one. Okay, so now we just need to decide where we want her. Now, I think I'll put the little foam square onto my glider. Okay. Plus, if it's bumped up a little bit, I feel like we'll be able to move her better. Because if she's too far down, I feel like I feel like it might be harder to move. Okay, so I'm thinking there looks really good, because then when she moves, and who cares if she goes off the card a little bit, that's fine. That's not the end of the world. But if you wanted to position it here to see how close you could get, it'd be kind of like that. So why don't we do that? I think positioning the glider the closest to the edges possible and then putting her on is a good idea. So she's not necessarily going to be right in the middle, although should she, so she doesn't bow down? You know, I think it's kind of fun if she actually interacts a little bit off the card, because it's not going to hurt anything. And when you put it in the mail or in your envelope, you can just position it so that she's on the card. I think that's fine, but I would rather the foam connector be somewhat in the middle. I really would. Okay, so I'm just going to take that liner off, and let's grab some tweezers here. Let's do there. She's cute. She's so cute. Okay, so now she's gonna go like this, and actually it is like this as well. How fun. Oh my goodness, that is so cute. Way fun. Is this gonna be my favorite card? I say it every time and then I just never know. Okay, so she needs a little starfish in her hair, I think. Does she? Yeah, I think she does. That'd be cute. And you know what would be fun is putting a little wink of Stella on there to give her a little sparkle. Let's do that too. So I kind of like this. Well, I kind of like that. Oh, there's just so many choices in card making. Okay, let's put a little bit of glue on here, mainly in the middle. And then I'm just going to kind of hover to see what I like the best. I think that's cute. Ooh, it kind of tipped off there a little bit. Okay. And then actually I might pinch that on there. Just hold it for a second. Okay. Nice. Okay, should I add the wink of Stella? I think it'd be really cute. So let's practice over here. This became our practice piece. Oh, that'd be fun. It's so subtle. It's so subtle, and it's just there, just barely there. Okay, so this is Wink of Stella. I think you can get this in a variety of colors. It is, I don't know if I have my color on here. I think I have more of a gold shimmer, but you just literally, I'm gonna have to hold her still. You just literally paint it on where you'd like it. And it's very slight, but it's there. Okay, let me hold that up so that you can see, and I'll take a moment to dry. But do you see just the little bit of sparkle there? Isn't that really cute? It's subtle, but it's there. It's simple, but it's fun. Now, I did pull originally these little glass beads, and I really like them. I also think they're super fun for winter projects, but they're also fun because they look like bubbles. So I'm not convinced that I'm going to use them, but I think it'd be fun to just play and just see. Now, I think because she's popped up on a foam dot, I think it's going to be just fine because they're not going to interfere with her, you know, her movement or anything. She's just going to glide right over them. Oh, but they're so cute. Okay. Okay, I think we have to. Now, I want her, I'm kind of deciding where I want her to kind of live. I mean, she's gonna be all over the place, but I kind of want her here. That way, I see my sentiment. And then, I just like her kind of bottom right justified. I think that's cute. And then I can kind of design around her. I think that looks like bubbles, and I think that's precious. And there's such a variety of sizes. So we could even do one here. And let me flip this around. Actually, that might be kind of big. That's too big for me. So kind of like the smaller ones. For this card at least. Okay, so let's do 1, 2. So darn cute. And then for a final touch, I really want to do 1 and 2. And I like the idea of that second one interacting with the little panel below it. I think that's really cute. Really cute. Okay, I'm going to solidify that. I also like that there's a little repetition there, kind of just going out from her. So I'm going to grab my glue and I'm going to make it official. Grab my little thing here. Okay. There we go. And it kind of looks a little cloudy initially, but then it will dry. That is so fun. Okay, there it is. Oh my goodness. I adore this. This is so, so cute. I love this stamp set. I love everything about how this turned out. This is so fun. And again, she does move freely around the little embellishments just fine. I'm not going to nudge her too much because my glue is drying for my little bubbles. But I love it. I'm going to stop there because nothing else is needed. This is just so cute. I also love the fact that she can, you know, twirl around. I think that is just so cute. I hope you enjoyed this as well. I cannot wait to show you what else is in Simon Says Stamps release, and I will be making another card project soon so that you can see what else has come out in their latest release. I think this was a really fun project and I hope you enjoyed it as well. Be sure to give this a thumbs up if you thought this was fun to watch, and I'll see you all in the next video.